Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your continued support to our channel. Fred Okengo Matiangi is the son of Umugusi. He is a man who needs no introduction into the Kenyan politics. He worked in the Ruto government, and in their second term, he was the interior minister. At some point, he became a thorn in the flesh to the then deputy president, William Samoei Ruto, after they fell out with Uhuru Kenyatta, because Uhuru elevated Fred Okengo Matiangi to the stature of a chief minister who was supervising all the other ministers. At some point, he even withdrew, or rather scaled down, the security of William Samoei Ruto. Fred Okengo Matiangi has been endorsed by the Umugusi community to run for presidency in 2027. Uhuru Kenyatta, under the Jubilee Party, has also endorsed Fred Okengo Matiangi as their flag bearer, something that has really elicited a lot of reaction because many had thought that Uhuru was voting for Kalonzo Musyoka. Some people feel that Fred Matiangi is the best man to take on William Samoei Ruto, but others feel that during his term as the interior minister, he was the epitome of dictatorship and a bully dog. The question is, if Fred Matiangi contests against Ruto today, who will you vote for? Fred Matiangi jetted into the country against the backdrop of many arguments that he has never told anyone that he wants to contest. Rather, we've seen some of his very closest allies, like the Kisii Senator Richard Onyonka, telling us that their candidate is Fred Okengo Matiangi. So he jetted into the country, a move that many interpret as an answer, or to the answer to those who are criticizing him, that indeed he has never spoken on the idea of contesting in this country. Now, if you watch closely, the people who received Fred Okengo Matiangi were the close family members, friends, and the Jubilee Party. There was no any other person, meaning that the Jubilee wanted to show the nation that Fred is ours. But ladies and gentlemen, who is Fred Okengo Matiangi, and is he fit to hold office, the office of the president?
We are not in these jobs to be popular. We are here to do the right thing, and I will do the right thing. We must sort this thing out. Honorable members, hapa lazima tukubaliane. We have to sort this thing out. So, Golosh, I am sorting it out. That's what we are trying to do. I wish this gentleman was cooperative in the manner in which the facts are clear to him. And as I told you, Mr. Chairman, I will bring the file to you so that you peruse it yourself and see what we are talking about. It is not right that when we are trying to make a genuine effort, we are being called lords of impunity. We have a country to serve. Let us not be victims of some of these lies that you keep hearing around. But things that just don't make sense even to a fool. How will you tell people? Yeah. How will you stand up? I'm asking you. How, Bishop, how will you stand up in public and tell me, who is that? And then you don't even have the courage enough to take a decision and say, okay, because I don't agree with the Attorney General and all these people, me, I'm not going to be party to you. In the morning, you speak like government. In the afternoon, you speak like opposition. You see, the question, let's be honest. You see, the total annihilation of common sense and betrayal of common sense in the political practice in this country is shocking. Quangles and all manner of SPIES that we should import police uniform. Listen to me very carefully. We will not import police uniform. Go and write another 10 headlines. We will not import police uniform from any country. We have to promote the local textile industry. Buy Kenya, build Kenya. How are we going to support our cotton farmers? How are we going to support our manufacturers and create jobs in our country? You know, this monkey business that has been going on for a period of time, we go to some shadowy corners and agree to import police uniform from some places and create excuses that isn't it simply outrageous that someone is saying we don't have material in Kenya with the kind of textile sector that we have? So why would the government put budget resources to revive Rivertex and provide jobs in Eldoret? Then we proceed like fools the following day to import police uniforms from Turkey or from China or from wherever. We have already paid. We are making uniform for our police. And take it to the bank from me. We will not import uniform. No amount of pressure, manipulation or anything will change that position.
Some people have closely associated Fred Matiangi with the failures of the Ruto government because he was the chief minister there. Some even associate him with the Ruaraka land saga. I don't know how far that case went, but they feel he's corrupt. But many people feel that Fred Matiangi is the one who can fight corruption. From the speeches that you've heard, there was a time when it was being alleged that the deputy president had hatched a plan to import the military and police uniforms, and Fred Matiangi refused, saying that they must be manufactured in the country to promote the Kenyan industry. So in as much as many also feel that Fred is corrupt, another school of thought feels that he's the one who can fight corruption because his style of leadership is one that is brutal, if you ask me. We are staring at corruption as one of the menace in this country, and so we need a leader who can fight corruption. Fred Matiangi fits into that shoes, if you ask me, or rather, there are people who feel that he can fight corruption. He also had an exemplary performance when he was the education minister and the interior minister. But I like the way he was performing in the education ministry. He's the one who eradicated election malpractice. I think thereafter he left it to Magoha himself. Fred was very active. He was not an office guy who sits in the office. He would sometimes storm schools and find teachers red-handed, off guard, some of them not attending their lessons, and he used to read to them a riot act. He's very strict. He really streamlined the education industry, the education ministry, and many feel that because of that record, Fred Matiangi can perform as a president. He's got a personality that is very brave. In the Kenyan politics, we don't need cowards. And that brave nature makes him the best person to take on William Samoei Ruto. Just like Rigathi Gachagua is brave, just like Raila was brave, just like Natembeya, those who can stand in front of someone and tell them, this is not right. People feel that that personality fits him well as the man who can take on William Samoei Ruto, and Kenyans will rally behind him. I don't know what to think about it, but I also believe that he's very brave. You listen to him one day when he was summoned by the Parliamentary Committee on Defense and Security. He was reading a riot act. He's a man who does not mince his words. You know, their leaders will tell you one thing when they are with you, when they are with the other people, they say another. Fred Matiangi remained steadfast. So his brave nature makes him one person who people believe can give Ruto a run for his money. Fred Matiangi has been close to power, as we said. He was the chief minister, and so he's not a man who is new. As he gets there, he was part of the deep state. That is what people are talking about. He was part of the deep state. They were pulling the strings. As to how William Ruto went and dismantled that deep state is something that needs to be studied. Like rocket science, I don't know. But William Ruto dismantled it. William Ruto rocked and he had part of the deep state. Fred Matiangi is holding a revenge mission against William Ruto, just like Rigathi Gachagua does. And people are looking at someone who has a mission against William Ruto, someone who can take on him with a lot of passion. And that person is Fred Okengo Matiangi, because after William Ruto ascended to power, one of the people he frustrated was Fred Okengo Matiangi. Remember how he used to send the DCI to his home, sometimes that there were illegal guns, you know? So I know Fred Matiangi has got that bitterness. We need someone who has got bitterness against William Ruto. One who will look at William Ruto not as an enemy, but a real competitor. So that as he gets to the ballot box, people will also look at him and say, yes, this is the man. And people are also thinking that we need someone who can investigate William Ruto, who can investigate a former president. Not witch hunting, not with malice the way we saw William Ruto dealing with Uhuru's mother and all that. No. Legally, looking at the wealth, looking at all the illegalities, not only to William Ruto, but to all the people who have been in offices. And that person is Fred Matiangi, because he will do it with passion, having seen how William Ruto unleashed machinery against him, the DCI, the police, GSU, and so many Kenyans feel that Fred Matiangi will be there when Kenyans need him to investigate. We don't want someone who is part of the system who will now start protecting and shielding William Ruto after he's out of power, or someone who will get into the system and it starts protecting people. But many opponents are also saying that Fred Okengo Matiangi was part of the system in Uhuru era, and therefore he will not be able to properly investigate if he is called upon to investigate the atrocities and corruption cases against Uhuru Kenyatta. So do you think Fred Matiangi is the right man to take on William Samoei Ruto? I believe he can take on William Ruto, but then the only challenge is that they must sit down and find the best flag bearer. Will it be Fred Matiangi? Will it be Kalonzo Musyoka? People expect that Fred is going to launch his campaign. I don't know whether it is too early, or he will speak and acknowledge the Jubilee's assertion that is their candidate. We are waiting to see, and from where William Ruto is, I think he's got every reason to be worried.